Hi, Collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, you guys. Welcome back into the channel. You guys, this is our Divine Feminine check in. Hi, Divine Feminines. How are my beautiful Divine Feminines doing out there? I hope you guys are still healing. I hope you guys are still feeling encouraged about life, about the direction you're going. But, let's tap in. I want to address the person on your mind, Divine Feminines. This could be somebody that you are actually already connected to, husband, spouse, partner, boyfriend. This could just be somebody that's on your mind, that's in your energy. But I want to tap in and see how are things going between you guys and what fears my divine feminines might have in regards to their connection with these divine masculines or the people on your mind. Okay. So let's take a look. First, I'm going to start off by pulling some characteristics, possible professions of the person on your mind, just to kind of get an overall energy of who we are going to be talking about. And then we'll tap in. Okay. Welcome back, all of my current followers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here again with me. Your love and support of the channel is greatly appreciated. All of the incoming and new followers and subscribers, welcome in, you guys. When you make sure you hit the arrow when you hit the subscribe bell and select all in the drop down, just so that you don't miss any of the other messages that I do upload to the channel on a daily basis. I do touch base on multiple topics, so there may be other topics and messages that may be of interest to you. Thank you guys for all of the support through Cash App and Venmo and the Etsy shop. It is greatly appreciated, you guys. All right, so let's see what some characteristics and possible professions of the person on your mind could be. Okay, we have the gym bro, right? Number 24 could be significant. You could be 24 or 42. We also have the sailor, number 47. You could be 47. The person on your mind could be 47 or 74. Okay, who else? Get a few more. Then we have the travel blogger, 55. The number 55 could be a synchronicity. You could be 55. They could be 55 as well. All right, a few more. What are the characteristics and professions of the person on your mind? 34 could be significant. 43, the personal trainer, somebody who takes their physical appearance very seriously. Okay. Number 12, then we have the circus performer. The 12th could be significant, the number 12. Also the number 6, the number 11, the number 10, the number 7, the number 3. Okay, and one more. And then we have the philosopher, number 35, the number 8. You could be 35, they could be 35 or 53, 21. Yeah. So these are some possible characteristics, professions of the people, the persons on your mind at this time, Divine Feminine. Doesn't have to be, but they could carry any of these characteristics. So, for example, with the gym bro, somebody who's sculpted and confident, all muscles, all hustle, protein shake not included. Then we have the sailor, adventurous and worldly, one in every port. Can you keep up? Somebody who likes to travel, who keeps things exciting, who usually isn't very stagnant or complacent. Then you have the travel blogger, always on the move and full of surprises. His next stop, who knows, but it's not here. So again, a lot of energy of masculine energy that is not stagnant. Characters who like to move around, who like to be adventurous, into physical fitness, because we also have the personal trainer right under the gym bro, and he is fit and motivating. He'll push your limits and his reflection time. So again, some energies, people that's on your mind that you may be connected to, very much into physical fitness. Maybe they are, also in the military. Maybe they play sports. So their physical fitness is very important to them. And people who like to travel. Then we have the circus performer, agile and entertaining, balanced. Will you walk his tightrope of love? So, somebody in your energy who has a lot of emotional balance, emotional intelligence. Um, they could be in alignment. We could see the plates that he is tossing. As our chakras, right, seeming to be able to balance multiple things at one time, but also stay in balance emotionally. And then we have the philosopher, deep and contemplative, questions everything, including your plans tonight. So then you have somebody who could be in their head a lot at this time, maybe high anxiety. They're questioning their moves, every decision that they make. Maybe somebody in your energy is very, very contemplative at this time. They're to themselves, and you don't really know what's going on in their head at this time. And maybe you are curious. So maybe this is something we'll tap into once we get into the message. So again, these could be their characteristics, things they love to do, their careers, their jobs, their pastime, their hobbies, and just again, just characteristics about the people on your mind at this time. All right, Divine Feminine. Okay. All right. So let's just get overall energy of what's going on with the person on your mind at this time. And then we'll get into what you are possibly fearing. I'll also get you some advice from the Truth Oracle, and also strengths and abilities to possibly deal with anything that might be going on with your divine masculines at this time. That one fell out. Let's see what that is. And then I'll also get you guys some music oracles and some advice from the archangels, and then your angel number, Divine Feminines. Okay. Well, this one wanted to come out. Okay. Worthy. Okay. Feels deserving of respect and love. Okay. So, Divine Feminines, you guys have the person on your mind or the people you're connecting to at this time who they're feeling worthy of respect and love at this time. Again, this could be somebody who you are already in a connection with, but this also could be somebody who you are in separation from, who's maybe going through some healing, and they are starting to truly see their worth, understand, you know, that they have to demand respect of others in order to be respected. And so they are starting to take care of themselves. They're starting to see themselves in a more worthy way, possibly. That's what I'm getting. And they know that they are worthy of respect and love. Again, maybe from you. Again, so maybe somebody in the background is working really hard, in order to address their insecurities, things that made them feel unworthy, which could be childhood traumas, things that have happened to them in past relationships, and so I think that you have a divine masculine or masculines in your energy. Yeah, my right ear is ringing, that are really working hard to prove and show, especially if you guys have been in separation, that they are worthy of your respect and love again. Maybe they did something to cause a separation and you lost a lot of respect for this person. So they are now working hard in the background before they come back into your energy, before they reach back out to you to show you that they are healing. Okay. Well, that's good energy to start. Let's see what else is possibly going on with the masculines in your energy, Divine Feminine. Yeah, confirmation. Somebody is coming in to communicate with you, wanting to open up the line of communication with the Divine Feminine, and they have something to say. Like I said, if you guys have been in separation, even if you guys, have a short-term breakup at this time, they really have sat and thought about their actions previously before going into separation, and they are now ready to come back towards you, Divine Feminine, and really communicate how they feel clearly, maybe give you an apology if one is owed, you know, explaining their behavior. They realize this is going to be imperative in order to regain your trust, in order for you to have respect for them, so that they feel that level of worthiness. They had to give it to themselves, but their next step is trying to obtain that worthiness from you, Divine Feminine. So again, they need to come in with clear communication, and they need to say what they need to say. If they used to hold back before, this is somebody who was going to maybe overly communicate to make sure they don't miss anything, because they realize that they may only have one more chance in order to come back into your life. Okay. All right. Interesting. Let's see what else is going on with the divine masculine in your energy. Okay. Yeah. Contemplation in the reverse. Yeah. They are tired of overthinking, thinking deeply and seriously about their life, thinking about their next moves. I feel like they are definitely in contemplation, but I think with it coming out in the reverse at first, I feel like they are done overthinking. I feel like they definitely have taken the time to truly dive deep and seriously about their life. Sometimes, until you lose something precious, you never truly slow down and truly understand your lifestyle, your behaviors, the effect that it has on other people. Until you lose that one person or that one thing that you didn't realize really meant that much to you, that changes you from the core. And I feel like, Divine Feminine, you were that person. You truly made this person in your separation at this time, after this last fight or whatever the last communication you guys had. You really stood your ground. Yeah, my right ear is ringing. You really stood your ground and made sure that the person on your mind or that you were connected to understood your value. And maybe in the past you gave them multiple chances, so they didn't think that the last communication would really be the last communication. And it caused this person to really go within, truly dive deep into their own emotions. When I see this picture and I see the ocean in the background, a lot of water energy, that's emotions. They really went through and felt their emotions, and how those emotions are affected when it comes to you. And like I said, they are coming in with communication because they sat and they really thought about their next moves. They are taking this situation very, very seriously. They're not trying to come in, you know, half ass. They're coming in clear communication and knowing what they want, because they know that they can't come back to you being unsure, not knowing what to say, saying, oh, I'm saying sorry, but I don't really know why I'm saying sorry. None of that is going to work for you. So this person really had to dive deep, go within, take the time to truly understand even how they felt and what they wanted. That is the only reason and only way they're going to be able to come back and truly communicate with you, Divine Feminine. Okay. Well, it seems like they're actually taking the situation serious. And that tells me that this person, yeah, my right ear is ringing again, that this person really means a lot to you, but also they just figured out, taking this time out, that this connection between the two of you is not a game, is something deeper than just surface level attraction. You are truly their person, but maybe they needed this moment to come to that realization. Okay, what else is going on with your divine masculine? Independent. Doesn't need to financially rely on anyone, not influenced or controlled by others. So I feel like this person had to also take back a level of independence. Maybe at the time when you guys were connected, there was some type of codependency between them and other people. This could be, business partners, family members, maybe some of you guys were dealing with someone who was already in a previous relationship that they had not fully disconnected from. So there was still some codependency there, maybe because there's kids involved, things like that. So this person had to truly go through the process of regaining their own independence. Maybe this is also new to them, but they are coming back in an independent energy where they no longer are financially obligated or relying on anyone. And it gives them a level of freedom to probably express themselves in a way that maybe they couldn't before, because they are no longer influenced or controlled by other people. So that's good. That's amazing for you guys, Divine Feminine. Very good. So there should be no other outside influences at this point if they have this level of independence now. And again, that codependency or those other people who had control over them could have had some level of manipulation where they couldn't treat you in the way that you deserve because they were still trying to please others. So they had to really work hard to regain their independence. And I feel like you are going to respect that, Divine Feminine. Yeah, they are going to come in vulnerable. They have definitely been in a more vulnerable state. Being in this contemplation, it really brought them tears over you, feeling fear and doing it anyway, opening up and sharing their weakness. And this is something that this person or the people in your energy, Divine Feminine, they're not used to this. This is not something that they've had to do in their previous relationships, even with friends or family. This is a person who was very good about hiding their deeper emotions. They were very much more surface level when it came to their feelings. They didn't want people to truly know their deeper feelings because, again, it would give others a level of control over them. So by disconnecting, regaining their independence, and truly thinking about the connection that they had with you, Divine Feminine, they realized that you were not one of those people who were planning on trying to take their emotions and use it against them. But this is what this person experienced in their other relationships. Again, platonic, friends, family, doesn't matter. This person had a history of people in their life that was looking for their weaknesses all the time, like they were surrounded by sharks at all points in life. So they were very defensive about being that open and vulnerable. And they learned over a very long time how to hide their emotions well. But this person is ready to come back to you now that they've regained their independence, now that they've been in heavy contemplation about you and communicate their vulnerability, how they fall on top of each other. Because they understand that being vulnerable doesn't make them not worthy. It doesn't make them less masculine. It actually gives them and you, Divine Feminine, more of a reason to respect them. Yeah, they're finding the courage. Confirmation. They are finding the courage to do something and take a leap of faith, something that they have. Oh yeah, the chills all over. Somebody is coming into you guys. And they are taking every bit of strength and courage that they have, psyching themselves up to make this move towards you, Divine Feminine. Because again, you mean just that much to them, but it took them time to truly understand how to find worthiness in themselves, to get past some of their own insecurities and learn not to be codependent on other people before they could truly understand and see and feel the emotions that they had for you. There were so many other things blocking this person's emotions that they were not able to process what they felt for you. And in turn, they sabotaged the connection because they didn't know how to handle it. It was so overwhelming. There was no balance. They were not able to juggle like the circus masculine in the beginning. They were not able to balance everything that they had going on, but they didn't want to tell you that. So in turn, they pushed you away as a defense mechanism and made you feel disrespected, made you feel unloved, uncared for, when their emotions were the complete opposite of that. But someone not ever being vulnerable before, not having the courage to express their emotions, they had words for days when it came to business and coworkers and dealing with family. But when we start talking about emotions, it's like their jaws locked up. It was a deep rooted fear that I feel like came from childhood because their emotions were used against them at such a young age. They were determined not to allow anybody to have that type of control over them. But what they didn't realize is that, unfortunately, they had come across friends and family who used that against them, but just not the right person, not their divine feminine, to understand that that was not love, that was not normal. And so when you poured into this person unconditionally and you gave to them and you made them feel on top of the world and you encouraged them to reach their goals, to be themselves, they saw it as fraudulent. It made them question. So it was easy for outsiders to manipulate them to think that you were not real because all they had known was fake. Again, this person regained their independence and they now understand that they are worthy of the love that you were trying to give them before. They know that they need to communicate this to you because they never did in your connection. And it took them a lot of time, a lot of contemplating to understand this. And it's going to take a lot of courage and vulnerability for them to express this to you. So, my divine feminines, let's see what you are worried about. What are your fears in this situation? When it comes to your divine masculine, what is your concern if they come back to you? How will you handle this? What do you fear? No mud, no lotus in the reverse. So this says, take a note from the beautiful lotus, which defies the mud and murky water, to rise to the water surface to show its beauty, overcome adversity by blooming where you are. I feel like one of your fears when it comes to your divine masculine coming back to you is that they are still going to have adversity attached to them. If it affected your connection the first time, your fear is that it's still going to be connected to them. So even though they may have a newfound level of independence, if they are still in any way, shape, or fashion connected to those previous people who were able to manipulate them, who were able to control them, who were able to get them to people please for them, your fear is that, yes, maybe they have stood their ground temporarily, but if you guys ever disconnected or got into a fight again, would they go back to the old ways? Would they still lean on those other people? Those people are still connected to them. They still have some level of energy attached to the connection. And I feel like your fear is that your person, even though they may be confident when they come in towards you, they may have a level of communication and express themselves, that they can go back to their old ways as soon as things get tough. Go back to the people and places and situations that didn't serve them, that caused you guys to separate the first time, as soon as things get tough between the two of you. So that is what you're fearing right now. What else are you fearing, divine feminine? Yeah, that they're still going to have emotional baggage from the past, resists being weighed down by the guilt and shame of the past. The past is exactly what it is, the past. So unpack and begin your healing. Start life anew and stop dragging the old into the new. Again, same thing. You feel like they're still coming with a level of baggage from the past, even if they come in this new energy. And there would be no way for you to truly know if they are truly disconnected. Because again, especially if they were connected to someone toxic, even their family, if there was toxicity there, manipulation, control, all of that happening, you would never know how deep the connection really was or not. Yeah, my writer is ringing confirmation. So this is what you fear, that even if they come back towards you in this new energy, who's in the background? Who's still packed away in the luggage hiding that can be let out at any time? If that baggage is not locked for eternity, there is still a possibility that others external to you, yeah, I'm getting chills all over my body, can come back and negatively affect what you guys have, especially if you are working on rebuilding. That means that there has to be a level of trust that, number one, has already been broken. So if they're coming back to reconcile and you allow this to happen, Divine Feminine, it's not going to take much for the connection to break again. And I feel like your fear is that if you reopen your heart to this person, if they are going to truly treasure it this time, if they are truly going to protect it with every breath in their body, because you gave so much in the beginning, the first time, and they couldn't treasure it, they couldn't hold it, they fumbled you, they fumbled your heart. Trey Songz, Fumble. Listen to that song if you haven't. They fumbled your heart, they fumbled you. So this is a fear that you have, that yes, they may have packed away some of that old emotional baggage, but if it's still around, it's a possibility that it could spill out again into your relationship and break you guys apart again. Yeah, confidence in the reverse. This is what you worry about. You're not so confident in this person. Again, they haven't come back to you yet, or maybe some of you guys are dealing with this now and that's why you're feeling this way. It's like there's a level of excitement there and you're kind of happy that you are in communication and you want to be overjoyed. You want to jump for joy. You want to cry tears of joy, but at the same time, you feel defensive. You feel guarded still. Because again, you truly only ever know if somebody is truly going to step up and do what they say and their actions match their words over time. It's not something that you can know from one conversation. Yes, they could give you a lot of answers and answer a lot of questions that maybe you've had since you've been in separation that you couldn't figure out on your own, but that's only one step. What truly matters is the end of the movie. And I use this as an example. I love movies, but I have been disappointed. I've gone to a movie and the beginning of the movie is like the honeymoon phase in a relationship. It's exciting. You're trying to figure out the plot. You're trying to figure out the characters, what's going on. It's bringing you in. Okay, it's like the love bombing stage of a bad relationship. It's capturing you, it's getting you excited, you're into it. But then towards the end of the movie, it's not as exciting. The characters, you find out things about them, and your feelings about them start to change. And the movie ends, and you're unsatisfied because the ending was so poor, it made no sense to the plot. It left you with more questions than answers. And I feel like this is what you fear, that you are going to get this buildup of excitement and joy in your heart again if you decide to reconcile just to be let down. And this time, it's going to feel worse than the first time because you're going to feel like you betrayed yourself. What else? Yeah, comfort. At certain times in our lives, we all need to be comforted. Allow yourself to accept the comfort of others and learn positive ways to comfort yourself. You don't want to go through that phase again of having to heal again, to comfort yourself again, to need support from others again in order to mend your own heart. And at the same time, you don't feel confident that you are going to feel comfortable opening up fully to them again. What else do you fear at this time regarding the person on your mind? Divine Feminine. Oh, you fear you won't be able to be yourself fully. Yeah. And I can understand that. You still fear that, again, truly opening up fully and being yourself, which is someone who loves to pour into the people they care about and love, it is going to get you burned at the end, heartbroken again. You understand your worth, but you feel as if, again, you are not too sure that your person, the person on your mind, the person you are going to be receiving communication from, the person who is coming back to reconcile, is going to truly, fully understand your worth, fully accept you in your full authenticity, because they never truly got to know you the first time. There wasn't a chance to get that deep. So even though now they carry all these emotions and they've had this deep contemplation and they feel like they're independent and they're ready to come in and take action and be vulnerable and be courageous and brave, they still don't truly know you. And again, it takes time to truly know someone. Will they be willing to dive deeper into who you are? Because this is not going to be just about how they feel about you. How do you feel about them is truly the question. Whether or not this reconciliation or this communication is going to be worthwhile. And I feel like this is a level of anxiety that you have, because at the end of the day, all you want is to be happy. You want true happiness with your divine masculine. And you realize that true happiness comes from within, which you have done for yourself. And you would never again allow anyone or anything to determine what makes you happy. And again, so this is what you fear. You fear that this masculine energy, this person that's wanting to come back towards you and communicate all of this, it will sound good, but will their action match their words? Will you be again sacrificing your healing, your heart, your life, your time into a situation that may end up exactly the same as what it was before? Yes, you do not want to have a false sense of security this time. You understand that security begins only when trust has been established, and you are not going to accept anything less except to be able to trust this person fully. So if this person comes back and they try to rush you into connecting, push you forward when you don't feel comfortable, red flag. You've taken care of yourself long enough to know that you need to always be investing in yourself, because you are the most precious thing on this earth. And you have been patient, and you've been patient with yourself and even others. But what you're not going to do is allow someone to come in and love bomb you and get you to rush into a feeling, a situation that you don't feel comfortable in. So don't forget your wisdom. Don't forget your lessons. Divine Feminine, and you'll be okay. Let's get you guys a few messages from the Truth Oracle. What is going to be important for my Divine Feminines in this situation? Obligation. Stop telling yourself you should. When you cater to others or to unnecessary expectations of yourself, you stop your flow of abundance. Yeah, you're not going to be obligated to do anything. This is going to be a choice that you have to either give again to this connection or not. Again, you guys could be dealing with somebody completely new, but at the end of the day, you still have a choice on what you choose to be obligated to. You're not obligated. You don't have to do anything. So you're going to be able to choose whether this feels right to you. Use your discernment, use your intuition, take a pause. Take a pause. Like I said, if they feel or make you feel like things are urgent, possible red flag, take a pause before making any type of quick decision and moving forward with anything. Allow yourself time to take a step back and truly look at the situation. Some of you guys, this will definitely be a caring connection, a new supportive relationship that's on the horizon for you. It might be a kindred spirit, possibly even romance. Some of you guys, it could just be a new good friend. But use your discernment. If you feel like this person has a level of integrity, their words match their actions, there's an actual equal give and take. It's not just you over giving, which you probably had to heal from as well. And now that you respect yourself, you understand that relationships are equal give and take between two. Maybe this is going to be somebody that matches your energy and it's going to feel a little bit awkward. You're going to maybe feel like they're love bombing you a little bit because you've never had someone that truly gave to you like you gave to others. But some of you guys have a very caring connection coming in, and just trust yourself. You've got this. You've worked so hard to get to this point, to heal, to get back on track in life after dealing with this emotional trauma from, this situation previously. You've worked very hard, so it's okay to trust yourself. Be present in the moment. Don't dwell on the past either. It's not that you're going to forget what happened, but if you are truly going to reconcile with this person, you're not going to be able to move forward if you still are mad about the past, holding on to grudges. It's not going to happen because that's just going to keep you back in the past and that past energy. So you have to decide whether it's worth, again, moving forward with this person. There's something or someone you are clinging to and it's keeping you from stepping into your light. You have everything you need to succeed, and the only approval you need is your own. Yeah, you're not going to need to be dependent on this person to help you decide. You will know. You will know. Just like they have regained their own independence, they're going to realize that you have stepped into yours as well. What strengths and abilities will help you through this process? For my Divine Feminines, get you a few of these. What strengths and abilities will help the Divine Feminine? Oh, wow. So happy, rekindle connection. Open hearts. Two people will need to come together if this reconciliation is going to work and both have open hearts. If one person is still guarded, not fully ready to open up, it's not going to work. Embrace the changes. You're going to have to embrace this change if you allow this reconciliation and if you want true love. It's crazy how these actually came out together, literally, in this order. there is a possibility of true love here when this person comes back. But again, if one person's heart is guarded, if both people are not open and to embrace the changes that are going to occur in this reconciliation, in this new connection, it will not work. It won't. It takes two healed individuals, confirmation. So again, you will be able to tell if this person is truly healed from the past. You will know if there's still emotional baggage by their responses, by their physical responses, by their words, things that they say, don't say. It's going to be up to you to really use your discernment and your intuition at this time when this communication comes in. And it's going to be up to you to decide if it's worth responding to. But if anybody is not healed in the situation yet, it's not going to work. If there's any level of confusion, it's a no. It's a red flag. If you still leave a conversation with this person with more questions than answers, it's still just a tactic to get you back into their energy. You need clarity. Clarity only. Confusion is not allowed. What else? In order to reconcile, confirmation. No confusion is allowed if there is going to be a reconciliation here, period. That is the message. In order for this connection to come together peacefully, both people have to come with an open heart. No ego, no pride. Both willing to be vulnerable to a certain extent. It doesn't mean you have to completely pour your heart out right away. You don't know who this person is anymore, just like they don't know who you are anymore. But it definitely means you have to be willing to be open enough and embrace the conversation and how that might change the connection. But don't forget your healing. Again, the red flags. Confusion is a no. You're only accepting clarity moving forward. All right, let me get you a few of the music oracle. Let's see. Maybe some of you guys are connected to music, or maybe music connected you and this person when you guys were together. Maybe you guys used to send each other songs, or they would make playlists for you to listen to. So let's just see what music comes out. Let's just get a few of them. Let's see. Give me a few music oracles for the divine feminines in this connection and how it connected them with this masculine energy. Let's get a few. Faith. No One by Alicia Keys. I just want you close where you can stay forever. You can be sure that it will only get better. You and me together through the days and nights. I don't worry because everything's going to be all right. This person has faith in this connection, divine feminine. They have faith that love will work. Again, you will know once that communication comes in. I guess they're trying to confirm it for you that everything will be okay. They're telling you to calm down, divine feminine. By Rima, calm down. Everything will be okay. This person has faith that everything will be okay between the two of you. They are funny. They're going to come in demanding that you listen to them. Yeah, because they know that they were a player. They were a beautiful liar in the past. They took you for granted. They did not treasure you. And This person is not going to have a choice but to give you clarity about the situation from before so that you guys can move forward. You will not be able to move forward if you still have questions. And if you guys are going to become a power couple, they're going to have to step up their game. Period. End of story. But it seems like they desire this with you. It seems like they feel you are worth the effort, the healing, them getting themselves together and their life together in order to come back to you a whole person, a person more aware of their flaws and their shadow, aware of the work that constantly is going to need to be done in order to reconcile truly between the two of you. This is not temporary fun. Nobody's wasting anybody else's time anymore. Either come correct or don't come at all. And they're going to understand that about you, Divine Feminine, quickly. All right, let's get you a few messages from the archangels that might help you during this situation with this Divine Masculine. What archangels will help our Divine Feminine? Let me get you guys 3. Okay, the first one, Archangel Raphael. Number 4 is significant. Gemini energy, healer of physical ailments, answers prayer, recovery, travel safety, healing, pain relief, health, wellness. Maybe your Divine Masculine has had some physical ailments, some issues with their health since they've been in separation. Maybe the emotional pain has caused physical ailments. Maybe they've made some bad decisions, over drinking, overuse of substances. So maybe they are in recovery. Maybe this is something that they are working through and healing as well. While you guys are in separation, the number 4 could be significant, born on the 4th, born in April. Ask for healing or protection from bodily harm during travel and for help finding a lost love. Wow. So this is possibly an archangel that your Divine Masculine has been praying to in order to get the love that was lost back. Malachite crystal might be significant. Wednesday and recovery. This reconciliation will be a recovery time between the two of you. Okay. Then we have Archangel Zafkiel. Number 42 could be significant. 42 or 24. Angel of contemplation. Well, we know from the beginning that your Divine Masculine was in very heavy contemplation over you, Divine Feminine. So maybe this is an archangel that was helping them during those times of contemplation. Psyche energy, depth of soul identity. They are trying to regain knowledge about who they are. Raises vibration, emotional and spiritual growth, meditation, understanding, and confidence. Yes, these are all things that your Divine Masculine would have had to work on in order to come to this place of feeling confident and courageous enough to communicate and come back to you. I provide insight to aid spiritual growth and help you find words to accurately express feelings, emotions, and ideas. Confirmation, this person is coming back to communicate. And Archangel Zafkiel is going to be assisting. Tanzanite crystal could be significant. The color green, white, orange, yellow. And this is going to be happening now, moment. Wow. This communication is coming in very soon. Wow. And meditate. Wow. Confirmations. Okay, one more archangel. Who's going to be helping during this situation between the two of you? What archangel is going to be helpful? Come on. Spirit, I love you so much. Archangel Sandalphon, number 19, Pisces energy. Angel of music, confirmation. Music is something that connected you guys wholeheartedly. It meant a lot to both of you. Venus energy, Pisces energy. Wow, I love it. Apollon energy, expanded wisdom, intellect, and being open. Harmonic healing, fifth chakra, melody, clairaudience. So, yeah, you guys really connect through music. Creative expression, poetry. Some of you guys are really good with words, or your divine masculine is very good at expressing themselves when it comes to writing or poetry. I help you tune your frequency to source through sound, vibrations, and music, singing, and poetry. Some of you guys may have masculines that have very good singing voices. Maybe you sing, and that was something that connected you guys. Turquoise crystal, days. This is happening in days, you guys. Possibly the next 72 hours to a week. Yeah, Wednesday to Wednesday. Communicate clearly. There will be communication here. Wow, that's incredible. So again, number 4, 42, 19, the number 10, I feel like 10 represents endings and beginnings. There is a possibility, again, of reconciliation, but it takes two healed people coming in 100% of themselves, both bringing something to the table. The number 6 could be significant. 6 is also past equal give and take, past connections. And number 4, divine guidance. 4, 4, 44. Wow. Okay. Let me get you an angel number to close this out for you, divine feminines. Wow. So you will know what to do. If you've done your healing, divine feminines, you will know how to handle the communication when it comes in. You will intuitively know whether it's worth responding to or not. If you are unsure, don't rush into any decisions. Take your time. You've done your part. There's no need for you to rush. What is the most important angel number for the divine feminines when it comes to reconnecting with the divine masculine at this time? I told you, somebody's health, and it's interesting how this both has the color green. But health is very important in this situation, either with you, divine feminine, or with your divine masculine. There is an urging from your angels to take serious a health matter that you have let fall by the wayside. How you treat your body is important. It shows self-love and care. Reflect now on what you've been avoiding. Make a doctor's appointment or address the concern you've been putting off. So this may be pertaining to you, divine feminine, but this may be something that needs to be handled by your divine masculine. Before you guys can reconcile, health is very important. It's a topic that people don't like to talk about, but I think people don't talk about it enough, and people end up getting diseases and catching STDs from being reckless with their health, with their body. So I feel like this may be something that you guys will need to address, because you still need to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, divine feminine. So partial advice for you and possible any cross watchers watching for the divine feminine. But all right, collective, my divine feminines, this is what I have for you. I pray that the message was useful. I pray that it gave you some food for thought. hopefully some good advice on how to handle this incoming communication. If the message resonated, please let me know. Hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me. But until next time, you guys, bye.